Welcome to Elite and Libertas internship program. Due to the coronavirus, in the coming few weeks, we will also use this kind of online sharing platform, which we will upload the video to the internet on time, and you guys will watch the video. After watching the video, we can have a small group discussion within each of your teams. So the teams has been divided already according to Dr. Jane's list. So please feel free to find your mentors to talk with them, and we are glad to share and help all of you to achieve our common task in the last day. The last day we would try to hold in a physical basis, which tentatively is the 12th of March. But of course, due to the coronavirus, we are not sure that if we can stick to that on time. So we will update to all of you later. So let's get started. So let me introduce myself. My name is Gifford. Some of you may met me before in the briefing day in January. Some of you may not because due to the absence or whatever. So I'm the unit manager from AIA, which I started my career in AIA in 2008. So it's around 12 years time. And I'm also a certified financial planner, which I believe this is a very good experience to share to all of you how financial planning in our industry works. So each team and each district is different, but for the whole industry, I think the coming program will show you a very good standard of how a financial planner should work. Okay, so let's introduce the program. The program consists of 4 days. Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3, we will do it in the online sharing basis, which we upload the video to the YouTube, and you guys can watch it, and you can revisit it again if you want to catch up some points or to revisit. On Day 4, we will do it in the physical situation. For Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3, after each day's videos, in case you guys have any questions, you can ask your mentor directly within your group, and I think that will help. The first day, we will talk about Hong Kong as a financial center and the trend of future. And we also talk about the communication, why is it important, how can we use the DISC personality profile, which you guys did a very brief test during the briefing session. And also we will introduce the guidelines and the rules of the final assessment. So listen carefully because the briefing of the final assessment is really very important. For Day 2, we will also introduce the insurance for various life stage. So in different life stages, such as what are my needs during I'm single or during I'm married, or how about if I got the children. The needs of financial planning or insurance is different. So in each life stage, you guys can know, what are the things that I have to pay attention and what are the things that clients have to know. And we will also share the risk management and the principle of insurance. We will share the essence of financial planning, so how financial planning has been done. Of course, this is a very, very brief introduction because it's a very sophisticated process, but we will try our best to help you guys to understand the essence of it, so that after this internship, no matter how the assessment or the role play goes, you guys know what is financial planning and how can I do a simple financial planning for myself. At least that is a very unforgettable experience that we would like to introduce, and we would like to help all of us to improve our financial knowledge. Of course, if we talk about financial knowledge, there's one thing that every one of us should take care, that is the retirement. Though it's very future, but if we can take care of our retirement as soon as possible, the effort we put is very, very little compared to if we plan our retirement in our 50s and 60s. And also we will talk about the wealth management tools. Some of you may heard, I invest in stocks, I earn a lot of money. On the other hand, some friends may told you, I lost a lot of money. So what are the difference and why There is a difference. And what are the risks and returns in the financial crisis? That's what we will share about as well. And we will share the financial planning process on how can we help our clients to do the financial planning step by step, because it's not just say, oh, this product is good, this investment is good, you just do it. We are not doing in this way. We would understand the needs of the clients and then help them to analyze which is the best solutions for them. Actually, we are consultants. So how can we do this process smoothly in our daily life? That's what we will share about. On day 4, of course, we will introduce insurance company, AIA. We as insurance company, how can we help our clients to protect their wealth and protect their well-being and help them to live healthier, longer, and better? And of course, you will know our team, why we focus in financial planning, and that's what makes us special. We will have a little ceremony to celebrate you guys to have a very good internship. So that's what we are looking forward to. And we hope that by that time, the coronavirus issue has been settled. Everyone will be healthy. That's what we really hope for. For the activity day, please talk within your groups to pick one date that is suitable for all of your group members, because totally you guys have 6 groups. We would like to do it like this: 3 groups on one day and 3 groups on the other day. So we would help you guys to allocate the time by first come first serve basis. So each group come up with one single time, which is tentatively our date is 7th of March and 14th of March. So just tell your mentor, we will handle it by first come first serve basis. So the activity day, we would go in this way. We will experience a program that is very famous. There's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a very famous book by Robert Kiyosaki, and it talks about around passive income. How can everyone in the society, as long as they wish, plan to have a financial freedom? He designed a program which is a board game. The board game is very interesting, so you guys can play the board game and then just like go through different life stages and make investment decisions. It's very, very thrilling and very, very fascinating. So really would like to enjoy the time with all of you. So come up with a time, tell your mentors, and we are looking forward. The date and the venue and the time, we will keep updating the WhatsApp. So please do accordingly. Thank you. Next, let's talk about some house rules. So turn off your mobile phones and be concentrated while watching the videos. We can't monitor you, but we are all adults, right? We hope you guys have the self-discipline to focus in each section. That's why we break each day into part 1, part 2, and part 3, so that to help you guys to have the concentration. Concentrate to finish one video, and then maybe you can take a break, say 10 or 15 minutes, and then come back. Be concentrated. That's very important. Second, be actively participated. We very encourage you guys to have the meetings or online meetings with our mentors after finish the video, because we do understand in the final assessment, in the presentations, you must have lots of questions that you would like to ask. So feel free to ask your mentors. Third, that have to maintain close contacts, because I believe with all the videos we shared, you guys have the knowledge and the ability to deliver the results. However, if you can add the ideas and inputs and for experience from your mentors, I believe you guys will have an even better result. So that's very important. Number 4, we suggest you to complete the videos by sequence. Part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 1, part 2, and part 3, like this. Because the design of the sequence is tailor-made. So to help you understand each concepts, ideas, skills, and knowledge step by step. So that's all. So as I introduce myself as a financial planner, so what is financial planner? Let me explain it in this way. It's just like a doctor. So when a doctor sees a patient, he will observe, he will ask, is there any uncomfortable with your body, right? He will observe how is the patient behaves. And furthermore, he would do some measures like taking the blood pressure, taking the blood sample to investigate what kind of problems of the patient has. And then after he can make a correct and right diagnosis, he can offer the drugs and the treatment that can help. Maybe there's the surgery, maybe there's some drugs, maybe there's some antibiotics. So for us, financial planner is the same. When we meet with our clients, we will ask them, what are the dreams, right? What are needs? What are the things that bothers you right now financially? 3 years from now, what do you want in your life? These kind of questions can help us to understand the needs and wants of our clients, and after we understand them thoroughly, we will offer the solution. It may be kind of an insurance product, maybe an investment, maybe some of them is just like to create a saving discipline. We will offer this kind of solutions, that's our advice. We also like a dietitian. So what is a dietitian? A dietitian educates the clients, right? How to balance the calorie intakes. For example, how much carbohydrates should he or she take? How much fat? How much proteins, minerals, vitamins? How to balance it each day for their goals. For example, some of the clients' goal is to reduce weight for a dietitian, right? So specifically for that particular clients, what kind of meals should they have? What kind of meals should they replace if they got the diabetes? What kind of meals should they take if she got some disease, right? So that's what a dietitian do. Understanding the client's needs, wants, body situation, and then offer a balanced diet to the client. For us, actually, it's the same. When we understand the problems of a client, for example, if there's a client, he can never save money on his own because it's just a habitual problem, right? How much they earn, how much they spend. So as a financial planner, we would create a system, we would create a program to help that client, help them to force them to save the money because of their dreams and their goals. For example, if he tells me, I can never save money. Each month I earn $20,000 and each month I spend $20,000. But I would like to buy a house, say 5 years later or 10 years later. So we as financial planner, we help them to solve this problem. We also like a designer. So just think about it this way. Imagine you got a home, right? You got very good furniture. You have some modern style furniture, for example, modern style chair, and then there's a Western style table, and then there is a Japanese style wardrobes. All of them are the best thing from that region. But without a design, you put it in the same home, how does it look like? Actually, it's the same in the financial world, right? We as a designer is to help the clients to match the things inside their home. That's what the designer do. But for a financial designer, we help our clients to do the proper matching in the mix, in their assets, in their portfolios. For example, some of the clients would like to say, I would like to invest in stock, but they don't understand they have been over-investing all the time. That's why they are taking risks. That's why they are borrowing money. That's why they have a miserable life. So how can one have a proper design in their whole financial portfolio that is match their life goals? Well, this is very important because in society nowadays, many of the people are driven for the return only, which is the financial growth, but ignore their life goals and other parts of life. So maybe they have lots of money, maybe they earn a lot, but because of over-investing and improper financial planning, they can still feel very anxious about the future. Why is that so? Because they don't have a proper design in their financial homes. Financial planner also like an architect. An architect have to design the blueprint of a building and then mobilize the professional to help to build the building. We as financial planner also the same, because we have the ability to understand the client's needs and wants, just like the graph you have seen here, right? This is the lifestyle of a typical person. So in different life stage, he or she have different needs. And different needs, we should align with different professionals to help our clients to achieve their goals. For example, some of the things that are very easy we can do ourselves using AIA platform. For example, insurance products, investment products that we can help our clients do. But some of the needs that we have to mobilize other professionals, which we as a financial planner, we just act like as an architect to make use of the talents of other professions. For example, you can see in Objective 5 there's estate planning, right? So for someone that's going to retire, he gets lots of assets and he would like to success or pass their wealth to the next generations. So maybe insurance products is one of the solutions, but another way, how can they do it smoothly? They maybe would like to set up a will, they maybe would like to set up a trust, or when they pass along the house to the next generations, there may be some legal issue that have to deal with. So that's what we as financial planner introduce a lawyer to our clients to help them. Or maybe we will introduce doctors to help our clients to overcome or to solve their health issues. We will also introduce accountants to our clients if he or she is a business owner, because the corporate wealth and the personal wealth is interrelated. But as a financial planner, we can help our clients to do the proper planning. So these kind of things that how can we mobilize is due to we have a good relationship between our clients and also between the other professionals. So that's why communication is very important in our industry. Therefore, actually, we are a consultant. So understand clients' needs, formulate solutions, present to them, and finally, encourage them and help them to implement it. That is a very, very important difference between a normal people and a consultant, because a consultant help clients realize their dreams, realize their goals, help them to take actions, while normal people just share their opinions, right? Whether you do it or not, it doesn't relate to me. That's a normal person thinking. But for consultant, the solution I share to you is the best solution. So I will encourage you to take this solution. So that is a very difference. So what is financial planning? Actually, is we as financial planner help our clients to go through their life stage. And that is money, because modern society nowadays, I guess most of us won't grow our crops to eat, won't slaughter the pigs that we eat, right? We have to rely on other people in this highly specialized society. And money is a very important medium to facilitate this process. So by doing a good financial planning, we can help our clients to have a good life. So now we know what is financial planning briefly, because the details will be shared by my other mentors in the coming few days. More importantly, why financial planning industry is very important in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is a global financial center. So what is a financial center? Consists of three kinds of industry. First, security, right? Stocks. Second, banking industry. Without banks, without money, right? Third is the insurance industry. These three industries are the pillars of Hong Kong financial industry, and each of them is equally important. As you can see in this report from KPMG, right? Hong Kong is the top global IPO market in 2019, despite so many things happened. And Hong Kong always is the first or the second or the third, right? The other two financial centers is New York and London. From the report of Hong Kong TDC, you can see 18.9% of Hong Kong's GDP is provided by the financial sector. And also it provides 258,500 jobs in 2017. This is a very high percentage of the GDP because you can see it is a very high value added industry. So in general, the GDP produced per capita is higher than the other industry of Hong Kong. And that's why Hong Kong is very competitive from the global point of view. Here is the life insurance premium. The life insurance premium consists of 16.59% of GDP in 2017, which is very huge. Why is this so? Because Hong Kong is a global financial center and people from all over the world comes to Hong Kong by insurance, say from mainland China, from US, from Southeast Asia, India, Europeans, and also Africans even, and people from Middle East. Why is this so? Because of the following reasons. First, Hong Kong is one country, two systems. So especially for mainland China, right? The contract is bilingual. For them, it's very easy to understand, and they have a higher levels of trust and reliability, actually. Second is because our policies are in US dollars. So because of our successful arrangement, Hong Kong dollars is paired with US dollars. So for majority of the world, they think USD policies is very stable asset. Third is we don't have foreign exchange control, right? So money in, money out, there's no restriction. So that is very favorable for those rich families and affluent people from all over the world to do the asset allocation in Hong Kong. And for our legal system, we have the law is very protect to the insurance premium and insurance assets. So the regulations helps us to build this reputation. So that's why our financial sector industry, including insurance and other two parts like banking and securities, are very, very good and competitive in the global market. And since the financial sector industry is contribute so much of the economy is in Hong Kong, so for us, if we are considering to have a good career, we may really consider the financial sector industry, because I'll show you in the following slides. So when I was an undergraduate, I asked myself a question: what is the path to be the top elite of society? And then I must say, after these years of experience of myself and also some of my clients, which is a very successful businessman or successful professional from different kinds of fields, I think I can conclude the following four paths, right? The first is to be professional in society or financial center like Hong Kong, if we would like to be the top elite of society, we can be a professional. Say, I can be a doctor, or I can be a lawyer, or I can be an engineer, architect. That is the way to be a professional. And then sooner or later, if you have got enough ambitions, you have produced quality work, you can climb up to the top to be the top elite of society. The second way would be the business owners to do startups, to own their own business, or the rest is history, right? If you are successful. The third way is to be the MNC executives, right? That requires a good education. If we study at Yale and Princeton and maybe to LSE, wherever, this kind of college, and then equip ourselves and then climb up the big corporation ladder, sooner or later, we will be the senior corporate executives. The fourth would be sales, right? Actually, it's the most rewarding department or the most rewarding person besides the business owner in the corporate world, because the one can sell out the products, it brings revenue to the company, and then the company are willing to pay them a lot so that the company will grow. So simple as that. And each kind of industry, they have the sales and marketing department. So yeah, this is revenue generating parts. So that is also the path to the top elite to be society. Here show you some examples of some famous people like Mr. Li Ka-shing, right? When he first started off, when he came to Hong Kong with nothing, first he do sales. Sell iron buckets, plastic buckets, watch bands. After he accumulated some wealth during the sales career, he finally started up his own business. And then, as said, the rest is history. You guys know how he become successful. So if you don't know, just search in Wikipedia, you can got it. The second one, Ponima, right? We all using WeChat, right? He started off as professional because he works after the graduation, work in a telecom company, and then he started off his own business. Oh, for Jeff Bezos, right, the richest man, even after divorce, he's still the richest man. That's the most amazing part, right? He started off as a MNC executive in Bank Trust. So, yeah, because he's graduated from Princeton University and with good education background. And then afterwards, he start his own business, which is Amazon. So these are the pathway of the famous people actually involve the four pathways that mentioned before. And you may ask, why is it important to us? Or what is the relations between these kind of stories and how to be a top elite of society related to financial planning? That's very important because your clients wants to be the top elite of society, because your clients want to have a better life, because your clients want their families have a better life as well. So we need to know the trend of future, as well as the pathway to be rich, because our clients want to do so. The future trend is lots to take. Here I will just show 3 trends to all of you as a little introduction. I encourage you guys to look into the future, study more, and explore different topics. These 3 are just a very, very brief introduction, but I believe that can help. First is the global trend of longevity. By 2050, nearly 1 in 5 people in developing countries will be over 60s. That's very terrible. The second thing is the world is getting more interdependent. And the third thing is the changing demographics and taxation impact. That's very, very important. Why is the trend of the longevity important? Is because that creates a very high social burden. For example, if you're 65 today and the life expectancy is 75, so I have to spend 10 more years, it's okay, right? But if my life expectancy becomes 120, that means I need to spend money for the rest 55 years. So how can I earn this money, or do I have this money? So the social security system from every developed countries or developing countries are designed by the young paying the old to help them to retire. What's that mean? Because the retirement system is designed based on the facts that in decades ago, when people start off their work like 18, 20, and they work until 65, and the life expectancy is 75. And therefore, the government is very generous to promise them to take care of the retirement life. Why is it so? Because the retirement life is short. However, right now, since the people are living longer and longer, the retirement life is getting longer and longer. And actually, every government has not enough resources to support of this kind of retirement funding. So that is very important for us as individuals to prepare for our retirement. And if the government would like to take the responsibility, they have to tax more in the middle class and for the rich to compensate the loopholes, to compensate the money that they pull out to do the wealth distribution. Why people can live longer and longer? Because of the technology advance. You can see we have bioprinting right now. We are developing robotics. We have digital health. We have data mining, and we have AI to help to solve the health problems. We have the precision diagnosis from the machine learning to help people say the latest technologies to help the doctors to identify the skin cancer or whatever cancers by using the help of AI. And for the organ transplant, that's bioprinting works, right? Some of the scientists has print out in the cellular level, right? Print liver, print kidney that is originated from that patient, so that is no, because when we do the say kidney transplant or liver transplant, one of the very important issue is the immune system will attack the transplanted kidney or transplanted liver. But what if that kidney or liver is produced or printed by the own cell of the patient? That's problem solved. So this kind of advancement can help us to live longer and longer. And that's beyond our imaginations. Some even said we can live for 500 years. Well, that's a little bit long, but for us, that may be the reality in future, right? Because why we can only live for 120 years is because of the split of our DNA in the chromosome of the top. They have the limited times of split that is designed by the Mother Nature. But with genetic engineering, we can change that sooner or later in the coming decades. So would that be this kind of advancement? We don't know, but 100 or 120 is mostly a must. Just think about it this way. Right now, people live until 85 or 90s. Think about it. When do they give birth? Probably born on 1930s or 1940s. Well, they have passed through some horrible experience like the Second World War. They passed through different kinds of plagues. They have passed through different kinds of disasters. Still they are alive, right? So for us, growing up and living in such a harmonious and well developed stage of a civilization, actually we did live longer than them. That's what I think. So that's why longevity is a must. It's a problem that we all have to face. And the product The problem is, if I got health, if I got wealth, longevity is not a problem. It's a pleasure. But if I don't have health, if I don't have enough wealth, that would be a suffering, that would be a disaster. So how can we help our clients to do it this way? Or at least help our clients to understand the future picture? That is very important. That's the first trend that I would like to share to all of you. This is very technical. I would like to skip it. So if you guys are really interested, feel free to ask. So let's understand the problem of information overload, because our world is so interconnected in these generations. So in the next 4 years, we generate more data than in the history of the world. So what does that mean? That means the world is moving very flat and very fast. That's very important, especially in financial planning. Let's understand some traditional stream of income. Some businessmen may do business to earn their money, right? Some people invest in their stocks, some people buy real estate or houses to collect rent. That's the traditional stream. But however, the coming forth trends, because of the information overload, because of the interconnected world, these three traditional income becomes fairly volatile. First is the high frequency trading. So imagine you are fighting an army naked using your stick, right? Just like a wood stick, right? To fight against an army with armor, with swords, with horse. How do you feel? Or even worse, with tanks and artillery. What do you feel? Can you win? Actually, it's just like investing, facing our opponents. Right now, high frequency trading is a very automated trading platform. The large investment banks and large investment institutions, they are all using that. So they can make the investment decision in less than a second based on tons of information. We call that jargon, right? Big data. The point is, traditionally, we think we can use a logical study, right? We can do the analytical research. We can try to see what kind of stocks we invest. We can beat the market. We can have a long-term stability because I buy the right stock. In the future, that's all gone because the opponent you face actually is very, very resourceful and fast. Simply, if you are speculating in the stock market, no individual have the odds to do against this kind of institution, unless you are doing very long-term investing. That's another story. The second is for real estate, right? Because of the internet, because of the e-commerce, the value of the real estate may getting lower. Of course, in some metropolitan, in some very, very advanced city, like in Hong Kong, the residential demand is still very high. But in other places of the world, actually real estate is not a very good investment. Since the world gets faster and faster, this is the business cycle of the average 100 members of S&P 500. What does it mean? It means a company, they got IPO, go to S&P 500, right? So after how many years, the company will be kicked out of the S&P 500. This shows the average tenure. So if you are a company that's got IPO in 1958, normally you can last in the S&P 500 for more than 15 years. But if you are a company that's IPO in 2011, the time shortened to around 14 years. So what does that mean? That means your life, say your life expectancy is 120 years old. So your lifespan is much longer than the company you are investing, except for those financial institutions and highly regulated industry. For most of the companies, their life is shorter than of us. That's what we have to know, because if we are doing long-term investing, we don't want to invest in something like Kodak and Nokia, right? Even though they are very, very good at that time. The point is, very few businesses survive over multiple generations, as Charlie Munger said. And we, as financial planner, helping clients is to help them to preserve their wealth over generations. So what we do is very beneficial to our clients. The fourth is the city cycle. Besides of financial centers like London, New York, Hong Kong, this kind of unbeatable financial centers, each city actually has their ups and downs based on the industry. For example, this shows as example, Detroit, right? Very famous for the motor industry, for the vehicles productions. When the American motors are very in their glorious stage, right? They have the robust business. This city is very developing, and the real estate price very high. But after the motor industry has been disrupted, actually, the real estate price in Detroit falls to the ground without any mercy. Another example is Shenzhen, right? 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you see nothing there. But right now, it's one of the most robust cities in China. So what does that mean? It means if we are investing in the traditional income, like business, like real estate, we also have to consider which city the company locates, or which city the real estate locates, because that is very important or very influential to the asset value of the investment. And the point is, the trend is so fast that we may never know, or we may never catch the right timing. So how to diversify is really very important, because the proper diversification can diversify the risk. But for normal people, say I only have $1 million, so how can I diversify in so many places? So that's what we come to help. For the changing demographics, it's easy to understand. In the 1930s, as I said, we work around 15 or 16. We don't have much good educations, and we work until 65, which means we almost have 15 years to work. And after retirement, the life expectancy is just 70 or 75. So I just retire for 5 or 10 years, and that's all. So very traditional thinking. But nowadays, we study. A graduate probably maybe not enough. Some of them would like to study for the master, some of them even doctors. So normally we go to work around 22 or 24 or 25, right? But now we also would like to have financial freedom. We would like to have early retirement. We want to retire or to enjoy our life since 45 or 50 or 50 something. But at the same time, our life expectancy has become longer. So let's don't talk about 120. Just take 85 as example. If I would like to retire at 55, and I die in 85, so I got 30 years to work and save money, and I got 30 years to spend my money. So very different story to the 1930s scenario, because they have 15 years to earn and save money and just 10 years to spend their money. So these kind of changing demographics are happening all over the world, and the trend is getting longer. I mean, longer for their golden years. Right now we don't call that retirement, right? We call that enjoy life and have the financial freedom. So how can people enjoy their golden years is also our responsibility. And these are the charts to let you know and feel how the trend is going by the United Nations. And since every country's leaders knows the fact, they are coping or they are anticipating the future problems. So you can see the social expenditures keep on rising, not just because of the trend, but also because of the voice of the society right now demands on more welfare. So combining force is that countries don't have enough money. They need to raise more tax. Let's take America as an example for the tax. You can see the tax goes up and goes down and goes up and goes down due to the policy change. But when it goes up, it can as high as 70% and even 90%. When it goes down, it can become 20 something percent, for example. And for Hong Kong, we don't have estate tax. We don't have this kind of high income tax or capital gain. We don't have gift tax. So the good, simple tax system makes us a very good place to do asset allocation. So that's why we are a financial center. We canceled the estate tax on 2005, and therefore succession in Hong Kong doesn't require to pay tax to the government. We can do this because we are just a financial city. Countries cannot do that because countries have to balance the each stakeholder's interests, and they have to do the wealth redistribution. And therefore you can see many countries have estate tax, gift tax, this kind of tax to rebalance portfolio to support their retirement system to their citizens. And even mainland China is considering, or actually they have also formulated the plans for estate tax, just waits a very good timing to launch it only. For those who are rich people, right? Previous time they put their assets in Switzerland, Cayman Island, Virgin Island, Jersey Island. This kind of offshore islands actually is a tax haven, we call it. In the past, wealthy people put their money in these tax havens and escape from the tax from their own countries. But however, due to every country's leaders have consensus that they need money to solve the retirement problem as said before, right? So they formulate a solution. So even Switzerland have to announce or they can't keep their clients' secrets from the inland revenue. So these kind of changes make those new policies like CRS, we call it Common Reporting System, so Factor, if you guys know it. If you're interested, can search in the internet, CRS and Factor. These kind of measurements are not just launched by one single country. For example, for CRS, it's launched by over 100 countries all over the world to exchange the information of the financial institution so that they can effectively collect tax from their citizens. So that is very important information or the trend for us to know that actually everyone is needed the money, no matter for the individual or for the government. So if we would like to secure our retirement, better we do it ourselves to secure it first. Here's just some example of the current tax rate of the estate tax in some countries like Japan and South Korea, France and UK. So what is the future trends? The future trends is we probably have to pay more tax than currently we pay. I understand you guys are students, you didn't work that, you don't have to pay tax. So let's do it in this way. Ask your parents how much tax did they pay? And how do they feel about it? So you may get a more, realistic answers from the taxpayer that usually, how do they feel? And if you tell them you have to pay more tax in the coming few years, pay more tax in the coming future, what are their response? What do they feel? You can get a more realistic answer from doing this kind of, I can't say it's a research, but also a chit-chat topic, right? To combine the force of the above three trends makes a very powerful impact to wealth. This shows as example. The painting shows that is the Vanderbilt family, that is the richest man in America in the history of their times. He's mega rich because he monopolized the railroad business in the 19th century. And 100 years after the Vanderbilt's death in 1877, when they catch up, the family members of the family catch up in 1977, they become normal people again. So what is the implication? The implication is that if we are not aware of our financial planning, even the richest man can become poor. So what do you think for normal people? What do you think a normal people, if they don't plan for their financial future, how miserable life that would be? Especially with the above trends, with even the AI and the machine learning, the future career is very, very unstable. The future job markets, the future business cycle is shorter. And how can someone afford not to plan for the finance? That's the question we all have to know. Here I would like to quote Adam Smith: "For all money is a matter of belief." So if we can have a better understanding in the values of money, in the value of planning, in the value of our life goals, we can have a better future. Because it doesn't matter for us to have more or less money, but it does matter for us to well plan our own resources. So change before it's too late. You may not be able to get in touch to financial education before, or you may have this opportunity before, or you may not. But this time, at this moment, is the best opportunity for all of you. That's what we would like to create. Change is that to open our mindset to understand more information, wisdom, and skills for manage our finance, for plan our finance, to plan our life goals. Because only if we do so, we can have a good life. When I was undergraduate, actually my major is nutrition science in the Chinese university. So, well, I'm glad that someone during my time that has inspired me to looking forward to how to in this world financial planning, and I think it's a very booming industry. So there are many booming reasons for financial planning industry. As mentioned, people live longer and longer. The advancement of medical technology is really great, and therefore when we see doctor, we pay a higher and higher price, and that's why we have to plan for the finance, right? Still, with the AI and machine learnings, although they replace the other industry jobs, but for us, because people would like people to listen, people would like people to understand, we have the human touch, so our industry will last, and that is very, very important booming reasons, because the investment advisor, even with the robot advisor, cannot persuade a person to help to plan in advance, because planning in advance somehow violates the human nature, right? Because human nature would like to spend and enjoy the life at this moment, but we as a civilized person, or if we want to have a bright and advance our social ladder in the society, we need to plan in advance. So that's the value of financial planner. And of course, people would like to have a higher quality of lives. They don't settle for less. And that's what we can encourage. The more volatile future, less secure jobs makes our industry can help more people. And at the same time, we are more sustainable. The taxation impact, of course, that is very important, helping the middle class and the majority of the society who are tax paying to help them to save. To summarize like this, find a way to serve the many, from service many lead to greatness. That's what we believe. So from our industry, we can serve different kinds of people, not just helping us as the financial planner, but also helping them to solve their problems. And behind that, I think that it's very important to find the meaning of the business, because a business is not just profit making. A business is just helping people solve their problems, and the profits is the side product. Here I would like to show the video of how our planning helps clients. This guy is, of course, is not my direct client because he's some guys living in foreign countries. But just pause this YouTube. In the description, we have shown the link of this YouTube video of Life Happens. Just click it, watch it, and then come back to this video. Remember, click that, watch it, and come back. Thank you. After watching this video, how do you feel? Actually, we are a business that we can help people when they are most in need. Well, actually, every professions like doctors charge monies, lawyers charge monies, right? When we go to hospital, doctors charge money, everyone charge money. But when something bad happens, we pay to our clients. When our clients most in need, when they go to the hospital, when they are having their retirements, when they lost the ability to earn their income, we pay. We pay them money. We pay them cash. That's our meaning of our profession. I found it difficult to find another industry in our society to help such direct benefit to help our clients. That's why I enjoy to work as financial planner. I hope that in the coming few days, besides of the knowledge and skills that you get to know, you can also get to know each of us, each of our mentors, each of our teammates, that's why we do what we do. I think that's very important, especially for the internship, right? Especially for if you want to know more of our daily life, I think it's nothing better than have a personal conversation. So, in short, to summarize, we as advisor, what do we do? Actually, we learn. We learn a lot of knowledge. We learn a lot of skills, information, longevity, how the interdependent world, and how the changing demographics, the real life stories of different kinds from people from all over the world. We learn it, digest it, and share to our clients to encourage them, to inspire them, to guide them, to help them to visualize, to plan for the future. Because right now, the society, as long as you guys graduate and work in the society future, you will know there are many day-to-day works to let you to focus only on today. The newspaper, the mass media, even for the Facebook, the WeChat, the information overload make people can't think of the future. But that's our responsibility. That's our job, to inspire them, to encourage them. Stop a moment, think the future, plan for the future, and then these kind of implementations, when they adopt our advice, it really benefits to their families. And if we can impact each families, to benefit each families, we can benefit the society as a whole. And we can make, well, a positive impact. Because by only they attain sort of financial independence and financial freedom, people can freely choose they want to do. They can unleash their own desires, dreams, and potentials, because many people work because of their pay. So what we create to the society is that people work because they like to work. People work not because of they want to get the pay. I think that's very important, and that's the purpose of us as financial planners, to help people. So if next time, I hope every one of you, if somebody asks you what does a financial planner do, you may not be able to explain a lot of details like we do, but I hope you can tell your friends and your families is that a financial planner is doing a very meaningful job to help families to realize their dreams. And that's all for my part. How can we do that? The very important thing is how to do our communication. Because without our good communication, without our proper communications, even I have the best knowledge and the best idea, I can't tell you, I can't influence you, I can't inspire you, that is useless. So how can we have a better communication with the people we would like to talk with? That's the very topic in our part 2. In our part 2, that will introduce a very good model, which is called DISC. The DISC model is the person, is the DISC model is the person, is the personal profile helped you guys to identify what is your type and what is your friend's type, so that you can communicate very well. Well, it's just a brief introduction, but details. Just rest a few minutes, take a break, drink some water, refresh yourself, and then goes to part 2. That will welcome you. Thank you very much to listen. I hope see you soon.